That hurt. More verticality. Recording in progress. All right.
Hi. Well, here's Derek.
30 minutes later.
Oh, for fuck's sake, that was painful, guys. You have no idea.
Yeah.
Because you've been waiting.
Well, what happened was my whole computer froze, which it shouldn't do. Of course, I haven't restarted it for a week, and that probably didn't help, right? So I was trying to click off tabs. I haven't had any problems or issues doing research all day. And, of course, right before the show. And then, of course, it was frozen, so I have to actually physically turn it off using the button, which doesn't fix any issues. So once it came back up, I then had to restart it in order to fix the kernel issues that it was having. Anyhow.
Actually, what you guys don't realize is he broke 3 other computers, and he went out and bought a new one. That's what took so fucking long.
Yeah, right. This is a new computer, people. It was bought in August. It's an HP Pentium Silver. It should work. This should not be an issue. I'm plugged directly into the internet. That shouldn't be an issue. So
are you running Windows 95?
No, 97.
Tamale Killer says, I'm starting a GoFundMe to buy an up-to-date computer.
Yeah, for us?
Yes, for you.
Because it sounds like I need one. It's so weird. Everybody starts texting me, too, while I'm going through this frustrating shit, you know? I got my ex-drummer texting me, my brother texting me. I'm like, all right, leave me alone. I got to get this goddamn thing fixed. Anyhow, folks, here we are. This is the Straight Red Card. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for having patience. I know some of you probably didn't and, said, fuck this show. But yeah, technical issues. And so we're gonna do Group C. Let's get it on before we're all growing too old. Do we want to pull up Group C, Brett?
Yep, I'm just tweeting out that we're finally live after 30 minutes.
Oh God. Yeah. Oh, you're tweeting it. Yeah. Because I'm sure the people that set the reminder have been waiting around for 30 minutes. They're like, these guys.
Fucking Christ.
What's wrong with these clowns?
Hold on. Just getting back to Group C. Bear with me just a moment.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. One of the teams will just have nothing to say about whatsoever, and I think you know which one that is.
Mexico.
No, Saudi Arabia.
Oh, sure. Okay.
I mean, every single player plays domestically in Saudi Arabia. And outside of some highlight footage I watched, I really don't know anybody on their team. I really don't. I've never heard of any of them. That doesn't mean they're going to be awful, but I do think they're going to finish last in this group.
I guess we can start with them real quick.
We just did. We're done.
I'm going to scroll through just to show everybody on the team probably plays for the Saudi Arabian League.
Yes. Yep. Every single one. Every single player, even the players for recent call-ups, all play in domestic league, in the domestic league in Saudi Arabia. So, they qualified, right, through the Asian Confederation. So they're probably pretty good. And their record in Asia is pretty darn good. So, this isn't their first World Cup. They've been there before. This
isn't their first rodeo.
No, it's not. So they'll be fine. They'll be competitive. But they're not going to beat, I don't think, any of these teams. They might tie a couple of them. Like they might tie Mexico or Poland. Yeah.
And I just got to reiterate when we talk about these groups and we do predictions and stuff. Somebody brought up the point that when we did our overall prediction, that like 11 of like the 14 Euro teams were moving on to the knockout stage, or whatever the fucking number was, which is unheard of. And yes, there are going to be upsets. There are going to be failures across the board, but we can't predict that. It's like doing the NCAA bracket. You know that, the number ones aren't going to make it to the semifinal. So,
and every World Cup, somebody like shits the bed. Somebody who's supposed to be actually a contender shits the bed, whether it be Spain or years before Italy or you name it.
France 2010.
France, yep.
That was a meltdown, epic proportion.
So yeah, we might have picked 11 to all go through, but that's not going to happen. That's just what we did when we. But what are we supposed to do? Roll a dice to decide who's gonna crap the bed this year.
We could flip a coin.
We could, but we'd have to flip a lot of coins because there's 11 teams. We're gonna have to get it down to one team that craps the bed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we got to create a bracket, and then we flip on whose heads and whose tails, and they go through the rounds, and then we find our bed crapper, right? So we'll see what happens. I think in this group we picked Argentina and Poland to go through, if I'm right.
We may flip the coin because I initially had Mexico, but
we did, I think, have to flip a coin. And Mexico could get through. They got a good record of getting through out of group stage, but this is not your grandma's Mexico. This is not the same team, and I'm
falling back on in cup performances. They tend to pull through, even regardless of how shitty they perform. Well, it was 2014 World Cup. They had to go through the playoff stage or playoff game, and they made it out.
My problem right now is that I don't think Tata watches the Mexican League.
Oh, okay, well, you brought this up.
Oh my God! Are you serious?
So Herc made a joke recently about how Tata doesn't watch Mexican League or Liga MX. It's pronounced MX, right?
Yeah.
So have to ask, who knows more about Liga MX players, Tata or Derek? And quite frankly, I think the better question would be Tata or Brett, because I think Derek knows at least the American players that are in.
I know all the Americans that play there, and I watch them. So I mean, when they play, I watch Fernando Arce Jr. At Juarez. I mean, Alvarado was playing games, but he got injured, so he's not playing right now. And I guess Arce was just road pine this weekend. So Italy shits the bed quite a lot. In fact, they already shot it.
They are the Amber Heard of the footballing world, I guess.
Oh, you got that one in early.
A little low hanging fruit there.
Yeah. Yeah. The only difference is Italy didn't mean to shit the bed, and Amber did. So. And I had a girlfriend named once Amber, so it's kind of, I associate. Anyhow, bad associations. All right, so let's start with Argentina then, because there's a team that, most of us know Mexico pretty well. I mean, do we really need to go into all the individual players on Mexico?
Not really. No, we went over them a number of times during the qualifiers.
We know who they are, and who we know based on Tata who they're probably going to be. The only ridiculous part is that we don't know why Chicharito isn't being called up, and we really don't know why Vela was ignored for so long that Vela finally went, "Hey, Tata, eat my dick. I'm not coming to play for you." So, that's a shame, really. And I don't know what Tata has against those two players, but it's his loss, honestly, since they really can't score goals. So, or they're having trouble scoring goals, which not used to be a problem, really, for them. So let's go to Argentina. Argentina, managed by Lionel Scaloni, who can play a 4-3-3 and has played a 4-3-3 or a 4-4-2 with Argentina. So he's the opportunity to make some changes. But an actual 4-4-2, that was like, wow, good. If we're looking at who's probably going to start, I went back to their most competitive games versus Brazil and Uruguay early on in qualifying, and the lineup looked to be pretty consistently like Martinez was going to be the goalie, which.
Well, yeah, that's really strange as a whole, because I'm used to the United States where you always have a couple of people have 30, 40 plus or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm looking here, and Armani has 17.
Yeah.
At 35. I was like, well, then the other two up there only had 2 and 3. So I was like, shit, who the fuck else could it be?
Yeah, I think he's pretty much settled on
Martinez,
Martinez as
yeah.
the goalkeeper. So he's not bringing him in for this upcoming friendly, which is, I believe, oh no, it's the last qualifier. And Emiliano Martinez
Why would you even bother at that point?
wasn't called in because they'd already qualified, and they're trying out some new guys. So I didn't even count the last game. So Emmy's their best goalkeeper. I mean, apparently that's what people have figured out, or at least Scaloni's figured that out. Argentina is a country.
You got to say this in your third voice.
Argentina is a country in South America. They have had world famous players in their history, including Diego Maradona, Lionel Messi, and Ivana Kamalat. Yeah, I don't remember Ivana very well. I don't know who that player is. When I was a kid,
it was a sticky situation,
Yeah, exactly. When I was a kid, Mario Kempes was the man, okay, for Argentina. He was badass. They won that World Cup back in, what year was that? The 70s. Shit, 78? I don't know. Don't remember. Too old. Anyhow, but Mario Kempes was the man back then. And, so I do think it's possible we could see Messi up there with another forward playing with him. And I think that might be the other Martinez, not the same Martinez. Did we already do asshole of the week? We'll get to that.
Not yet. Every week we try to be professional, guys. Outside of the computer, technical difficulties. It's outside of our control, but we try to be professional. But every week, something's just grinding us further and further down.
Yes, and then we become toxic. We're
2010. This red card. It's going to come back.
Toxic and disrespectful. Even after a certain person said, "I know more than you," to you, Brett, which I think that doesn't sound like a very respectful comment to make, nor does it sound very grown up either.
Hey, a lot of people know more than me.
Yeah,
but it's fair.
I know more than most people that I know. And, because I'm sort of a Renaissance man. But I don't walk around saying, "I know more than you. I know more than you. I know more than you too." I mean, wouldn't people think I was kind of a douchebag if I did that? Yeah, I would be officially a douchebag if I walked around doing that. All right, scroll down to the forwards.
Do you want to skip all the way down to the forwards already?
Yeah, because I'm starting on top
You're
here.
Go backwards, huh?
Yeah, because the other Martinez is also a guy who we can expect, I think, to play next to Lionel Messi, and I think that's going to be key. That he has said, yeah, he wasn't in that last game either. There he is. Plays for Inter. Yep. So we've seen him a few times this season, I think, for Inter. And
I keep forgetting that Dybala is Argentinian. So I don't know why, but I do.
I mean, he should be called up too, wouldn't you think? I would assume so, but he was only called into the pre for Venezuela, and then Martinez had COVID. So there you go. That counts for them.
Ah, yeah, look at that. Cool. I was looking over here because he used to have it over here.
I mean, could Dybala? Is it possible he won't make this roster for Argentina? That seems crazy to me. I don't know, dude.
You're nuts. Let me see what else we got up here. Yeah, that'd be nuts.
Yeah, it would be. So, I mean, you do have Angel Correa, right, at Atletico, but it's not like he's been that prolific for the Argentinian national team.
This could be something, I guess. I don't know enough about Argentina to back it up or not.
I didn't know Messi had a shit list. But he's Messi. I'm supposed he does. We just don't know about it all. And then, a lot of these other guys are just, I really don't expect Julian Alvarez to make this team. I know he plays for River Plate, but I just don't see it happening. Not once Martinez is back in the picture and his COVID's gone and all that other jazz. Because the only reason he missed the game and some of these guys made it onto this roster was because he had COVID. So And then I guess let's start in the back. We'll go back to the back now. I'm all over the goddamn place.
Yeah, no. I'm gonna just since I'm already here, I'm gonna look at the recent call or non-recent call-ups. See if anybody sticks out.
Yeah, let's see who's injured or had COVID.
Martinez is injured.
Another freaking Martinez. Lissandro.
The Smiths of Argentina.
Yes. Marcus Acuna, who was
Da-da-da.
he was a pretty regular starter for Argentina at left back for some really important games. So the fact he only got called up to the pre is weird. Maybe just to work out with the team, but they're like, yeah, we already know all about you. So we're going to have, give some of the young kids a shot since, we're already winning this. But then why waste your time playing Messi either? Just tell Messi to stay at home and take a breather.
Got a pretty young defensive line.
Yeah.
They had some experience too, but
Otamendi. Yeah. Nicholas Otamendi, who we all know, who plays for Benfica. He is going to be kind of the rock in the back. I'm actually surprised that he's not the captain of the team, but for, of course, Messi. So, and then next to him will be, and then next to him will probably be Romero, would be my best guess. And I don't think he's on here. He might be on the injured list. Yeah, we're going all over the place tonight.
There he is.
Yeah. So Christian Romero, I'm guessing he will be there. I can't guarantee that. It just depends on how much playing time he gets with Tottenham until the World Cup. There are other options, though. And there are other options left back, too. And we haven't even talked about Acuna yet, or we did because he was on the injured list.
Mm-hmm.
Or he was on the pre-list. But you do have Tagliafico, I think is his name.
Yeah.
Tagliafico, yeah. Okay, he's at
That's Tagliafico, actually.
Tagliafico.
Taglia.
No, Tagliafico.
Yes, Taglia.
It's Tagliafico? No, it's not. What are you talking about? It's not.
It's phonetic. Tagliafico.
Well, then I got to tell you that one guy that plays in California, that young kid whose name was like, if you pronounce it the wrong way, it sounds absolutely freaking horrible. So I'm going to go with Tagliafico because that's what I know. And my guess is that he might start out left instead of Acuna. And then outright, I don't know who we'd go with outright. Let's see.
God, I wish it would just, instead of putting DF, I wish it actually put right RB or left LB and center B or CB. Because I couldn't tell you without digging into them to find out who's what, where, and when.
It's Molino would be my guess. If I had to guess, it's going to be Molino. Yeah, at right back. And then in the midfield, if they play a 4-4-2 out left, I think it'll be Kelso. So go to the midfield.
Oh.
I think you missed him. He's the first one.
Who?
No, he's maybe not on there. He might have been on the pre, another one of those guys. But
what's the last name again?
Kelso.
Okay.
Look, Kelso.
Ding, ding.
There he is. Yep. What was his problem? Or is he another guy that
he was just the pre?
Yeah, it looks like they brought a lot of the regular starters to the preliminary camp, and then we're like, or they were on the preliminary roster just to let them know that, hey, you're still on my mind, but I want to test a bunch of other players. So, and then we've got in the middle or outright would be Di Maria. So we all know who he is and what he's done. So in the middle, Paredes more than likely. God damn, yeah. They're Paredes, all over.
There we go.
There we go. Leandro Paredes most likely start in the middle next to, is it De Paul?
Rodrigo?
Yeah. There we go. I'm squinting to see these, but I am seeing them. So that would be my starting lineup. If I had to guess. And I think they're getting out of this group. No problem. This is probably DePaul and Paredes are probably the central mids. Yeah. Didn't I just say that?
Yeah. I was backing you up.
Oh, okay. He's backing me up. All right, good. Yeah, I mean, that would be that's just my guess. Now they've got other players. So obviously this is a very deep Argentinian team. So there's all kinds of guys who, might play themselves onto this team, but they're deep and they're going to be good. They're going to be really good. This is the best team Messi's had around him. They're not like relying on Messi either when they play. Like they got guys that do their own thing, and then Messi's a part of that thing. Instead of before, I always felt like Messi had to do everything. So I don't think that's going to be the case. Chode Patrol.
Sparkle, I like your new name.
Chode Patrol. You go. You do that, Chode Patrolling. So nothing to cover on Mexico or Saudi Arabia. We've done what we're going to do there. We could cover a little bit of Poland, but Poland's going to be a little bit of mystery because the manager's only been around for two games. 2 games.
Don't you think leading into the actual World Cup? I mean, he's got a couple games coming up, of course, but he's probably going to go with the common thread, more or less the same people.
Yeah, although the 2 games he's coached so far, he did a 4-1-4-1, and then he did a 3-4-2-1. And of course, they didn't play Russia, so that game they didn't play. So he's only got 2 games under his belt. So unlike other cowardly countries who won't fire their coaches when their possible qualification seems to be at risk, they did in Poland. So they got a new guy in town. And more than likely, I think we all know that Szczesny is going to start.
I know.
Yeah. Starting keeper. Ben Liederman in the midfield. No, I don't think either of those things are happening, folks. So I wouldn't worry about it.
Szczesny's absolutely going to be starting.
Szczesny is a great goalkeeper, an absolutely great goalkeeper. So,
do you really use anybody else? Okay, I guess.
I mean, you could use Fabianski, but I mean, he's nearly 80 years old.
Kneecaps and everything breaking and creaking. I'm sure at that point.
He's still a good goalkeeper.
I know. I'm not down now.
Yeah. But he is getting up there. But I don't
know, but I mean, he's listed as retired.
Okay, done. There we go.
Good to know. And outside of Szczesny, nobody has more than 6.
I think we know who the starting goalkeeper is, period.
Well, sure.
And he's 32. That's like a golden age for goalkeepers. So there's that. And then we'll go left back, and Barasinski is probably going to start. No, not Bednark. Bednark's more of a center back. Yep. So he'll be the left back. And
head got cut off.
Yeah, bad. Wiki, bad. Then Bednarek in the middle with Glick.
Bednarek. There he is. Look at him.
Yep.
And who else?
Glick.
Yeah. Again, man, they need to crop these better.
I think it might be us. And then
probably zoomed in too much.
Outright, the most oddest named Polish person I've ever met, Cash.
Yeah, I saw that.
Matty Cash. Can you click on that and see if he was born in England? I'm going to guess he was.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So how his mother must be Polish, or his grandparents are Polish, because Cash is about as not Polish as you could possibly
Former
get.
Professional football player Stuart Cash, brother Adam, Cash Cook. Of course, and they don't specify any his Polish ancestry at all.
Go to international. There's a section called international.
But I mean that's usually his performance.
Nope. There you go.
Okay, look at that.
Damn, called it his mom. So he applied for a Polish passport. Was a citizen by October 2021. And there you go. That's why he's there. And by the way, Liederman is Ben Liederman's also flipped over to the Polish. So all of you big Ben Liederman fans, go cry in your soup.
He hasn't officially been cap-tied to them, though. So it's always possible, Derek.
It could happen.
Always possible.
But I do think Cash is going to start it right back now that he's gone that direction.
Chris brings up a point I was bringing up as far as like the number of caps and international caps as a whole.
Why would Chesney blow up his nuts?
Let's just say there's some freak incident. And one of it, he busted a nut and he only has 2 left.
Well, then I think you beg Fabianski to come out of retirement. I think that's what you do.
I mean, nobody else has any experience at all. I mean, don't get me wrong. I guess I don't know their club experience by any means. As far as the national fireworks accident, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you were mentioning they have a lot of players that play in Italy.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
they don't
it's like as if Serie A went out and said, hey, Polish, we'll take you.
Some of them don't play that much, though, in Italy.
Sure.
They're in Italy, but they don't play much. So we'll see how that goes. Like, I think Drakowski is either second or third string for Fiorentina. I think so.
At 24, that makes sense.
Yeah, he's a young guy. But then in the holding midfielder will be Bielik. That's how we would pronounce that in Germany, at least. He plays for Derby County. And then since we're doing the 4-1-4-1.
Wait, how do you pronounce that?
Bielik.
Bielik? Okay. I don't.
Or Bielik.
I don't know how I heard something completely different there.
Yeah, I don't know how that's pronounced in Poland. Bielik, I don't know. I
would say Bielik, but then again,
I've never watched Derby County play this year or the year before that. I mean, they're down there, all right? They're fighting. And then out left midfield would be Szymanski. Yep. Dinamo Moscow. Although he might get banned because he chose to play in Russia. I don't know if they won't do that. And then in the middle will be Moder. Also, not the most Polish name I've ever heard in my life. But he plays for Brighton and Hove Albion. So Jakub. And then Goralski, god damn, will play next to him, more than likely. Not
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I saw like 50% of the letters there. He
was close, but no cigar. Yeah. Now, it could be someone else. I'm just giving you my best guess. And then outright, it'll be Zielinski.
Okay.
Yeah, it's weird he plays in fucking Kazakhstan.
Yeah.
It's just, that league's worse than the Polish league. Why is he getting called up? You think Zielinski will be played in the middle? So do you think they'll go back to a 3-4-2-1, Chambers? It's possible. I'm no Polish team expert.
What's Frankowski doing at Linz? Is he playing at all?
I think he plays occasionally. No, it looks like
28. He's got 28 appearances with
okay,
Linz.
Well, that's since 2021 though. So got to keep that.
Yeah, but then again, we lost a chunk of 2021 too.
Yeah. It's surprising that, he came over to Chicago Fire, didn't really play that well. I mean, he had some goals for
off and on games.
Yeah, but he was not the superstar anybody thought he was going to be. And there he goes off to Lens and plays all the time. To Derek's Computer Fund, free Hoppy. Yes. I should have said that like William Wallace.
I asked people on Twitter because free Hoppy's becoming a thing. I'm like, hey, maybe it was on our last video, but I was like, hey, can anybody go in and Photoshop Hoppy in as Willie from Free Willy? When he's like jumping over the barrier and stuff, and little kid's like, yeah. not the Family Guy version where Willie then falls on the kid. Yeah, not that version.
Not that where he gets killed. Yeah, and then of course we all know it's going to be Lewandowski on top if they play a 4-1-4-1.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the interesting thing is how much time Buksa and how well Buksa has done when he's played for Poland. So if they decide to go 2 up top, look out.
5 goals, 5 games, damn.
Yeah, look out if they bring both of those guys. So, and they play up top together. But then it's not like you don't even have another. You have another option who plays at Fiorentina. So
On loan though from the season.
Yeah.
3 goals in 9 games from Hertha.
Yep. So I don't know, but he'll probably make the team. I don't know.
Just in fairness, he has plenty of Serie A experience prior to that,
but I mean, he's playing at Fiorentina. Busca plays for the Revs. So take that for whatever.
If it works, it works.
Sprinkle of salt you want. So that's breaking down Poland, and I think we had them after a coin flip coming in second in this group.
Yeah.
We had to do a coin flip because you had Mexico, I had Poland. We did a coin flip. I won. And so, but you know what? If Mexico gets out of this group, it ain't going to surprise me.
Well, somebody agreed with those. Football Pharaoh says that Mexico could be weak in the qualifiers, but always turns up a notch in the World Cup.
You know who? CONCACAF in general exceeds expectations getting out of group stage. We just did.
Maybe CONCACAF is actually more difficult than we give credit for.
I mean, 3 out of 4 all the time, over and over again. When some World Cups, like not a single African team or maybe one gets through, and then they're always highly touted teams, and they're like, "What the hell happened?" Or "What the hell happened to Spain? What the hell happened to France? What happened to Italy?" So again, someone's going to shit the bed. And I can't guarantee you this is going to be a great year for CONCACAF again. I can't say 3 out of our 4 teams are going to definitely get out of group stage. But Mexico certainly has a chance here, especially if like Jimenez comes into form for them. I think you just never know. And maybe Tata calls up Chicharito and apologizes and tells him his girlfriend's beautiful and all that jazz. We might see. But those are our predictions. I think that's how we had it with Saudi Arabia finishing last. If you're Saudi Arabian, we apologize. It's nothing personal, but I mean, you know your lineup. All right. It's none of those guys play in any really awesome teams. I mean, maybe they are awesome in their own domestic way, but
in their own.
And then let's take questions, and then we'll get to our top 6 American managers.
Oh, you ruined it! I got the snippet and everything of it.
Oh, you did?
We're doing Q&A right now.
Yeah, but go ahead. Yeah, let's do it.
Fuck it.
I won't say anymore.
Q&A. Yeah, I took the time and effort to go through, snippet it, show it. It's gonna be fancy. It's gonna be great production level.
Oh, yeah, and then I didn't show up.
What a dick.
Brett W. Excluding, it's not related to you, Brett.
It says one of my puppet accounts, so.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It's actually me in the picture. I just, colored my hair in black.
You look like you also shrunk.
Well, I mean, it's a small picture.
Your body to head ratio is bigger on the body than the head, and his is big head, small body. I think. Yeah, you're not getting away with that.
Yeah, this was a couple years back when I was a little more in shape.
Dude, even when you were in shape, you were still a large mammal.
But, he means tall, guys, tall.
Yeah, he's tall.
Maybe long, too. I don't know.
Tall, yeah, tall. Big boned. Excluding Pepe, who I think will break out.
Actually, Chambers, is that truly you?
It's
legit. I'm okay. What's up? What's up, Chambers? It's great putting actual YouTube names to Twitter names now.
Yeah, I'm sorry if I said you had a big head. That's not really what I meant to say.
Oddly enough, I've got the big head. My body's big too at this point, so it kind of hides it a little.
Yeah,
once I get back into shape, though,
Same here, dude. I got a gigantic noggin. It's ridiculous. But, you got to stuff the brains in somewhere. Excluding Pepe, who I think will break out of his fun. I think he meant funk.
Yeah.
But how would you rank the young MLS players that moved to Europe in this January? Let's start. Che doesn't play. So.
Plays with the second team.
Incomplete.
Is he playing there now?
He
has reserve side. I think
he has played a game at reserve side because it just looks like
needs fucking minutes.
Yeah, they need
You
to
keep right in mind.
They need to keep them, developing. Paredes,
finally started getting minutes.
Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, and that's a grade I would give him, a C so far. I think he needs to continue. We need to see more. Sands.
Started off strong and has petered out since.
Well, he played the last game.
Still petered out. I mean, you can't. This is the Shaq Moore conversation all over again. Yeah. He played the last game, but then he also sat down for like the entire season so far.
Yeah, I can't give him a.
Yeah, but you could
every time he plays.
If you're sarcastic, like you're doing great, keep it up.
You're playing 1 out of every 6 games. Congrats. Bello has really looked. He struggled. Period.
It's strange because the few games that I've watched, he actually looked perfectly fine out there too.
Mm-hmm.
They just it must be the few and far between ones, I guess.
But it's not consistent. That's the problem. Bassett doesn't play much. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't really watched any of his games since he moved, and I haven't heard him on any of our Yanks Abroad reports.
No, because he's not playing.
You announce
right
him, but you don't announce him actually playing. So.
No. He did get over there and play, and then now not. So I don't know if he's got
even including Pepe into this. It's a pretty poor turnout.
Yeah. So far not good for any of these guys.
Yeah.
How would you rank them in terms of liveliness to break out next season? Add Gojo if you like.
Joe Go.
That's Jonathan Gomez. Or yes. I think Jonathan Gomez, if he can get on to the actual big boy Real Sociedad team, has a better shot than a lot of these guys.
It's funny though, because you can make that same argument if Che could get on the Hoffenheim big boys, and he'd have a better chance than the other guys.
But he's not going to. So there's no point. I don't think he's going to break out.
Do you think Jogo will at the age of what, like 19? What is 18? Whatever the fuck he is right now.
Well, the big bonus for Jonathan Gomez is we don't want him to go play for Mexico. Fair. So that might be the only advantage he has as far as I know he's still playing at Real Sociedad B in the Segunda League. By the way, that is where Shaq Moore plays, the Segunda League. Okay. So if he values Shaq Moore at right back, who doesn't really play that much in the Segunda League and didn't play this weekend, then at least you have to at least value the fact that Jonathan Gomez starts every game for Real Sociedad B in the Segunda. You have to value that at some point.
Sean, I feel like we probably should have brought this up at the very beginning of the segment.
This
is my bad for not pre-reading these.
Yeah, Group C seems to be the most competitive, with Argentina being the favorite to win the group, but it's going to be a great second place battle between Mexico and Poland. I agree, and I think Mexico edges them by goddamn. Goal difference. I know what he meant.
No, he means by goddamn.
Yeah, we used to say GD back in the old days.
Yeah.
Well, GD.
GD it.
Yeah, or just generally sometimes just goddamn. God damn it, or goddamn. You could tell it's a very religious show. Poland and Mexico are going to be that game between the two of them will decide it.
That'll be the massive one, yeah.
So it's a flip of a coin. In fact, we literally had to flip a coin to decide who won that game. So, or who got through between the two of them.
I'm with you, Sean, on this one, though.
Don't blame us.
I'm playing Mexico moves.
Yeah, don't
watch us both be wrong and Saudi Arabia actually moves. That'd be interesting.
Well, people keep saying, they're Saudi Arabia and Iran and all these countries in the Middle East are going to be used to the temperatures. Well, it's not going to be that hot, and they're going to be used to the dry weather. What's
the average temperature in Qatar in November? What? Still like 125? I mean, it's still gonna be hot.
Not going to be that hot.
Not going to be the November that we experience by any means.
No, winter there, it's going to be in the 60s. It's going to be perfect. Okay. And it's somewhere near there. 70s, maybe a little hotter in some days. But I don't think that's the issue. And I don't think
either a lot of people are searching this or Google's listening to us, because it auto-filled in November when I said average temperature in Qatar.
Yep.
That in November.
Mm-hmm.
And to your point, I was never going to predict this by any means, but the average temperature on daytime is about 86 degrees Fahrenheit. At nighttime, it'll be about 68.
Yeah. And they're going to play a lot of games later in the evening. So
Works out
70s,
for us, and
60s, 70s, 80s, right? That's about what you're looking at. And
damn, I'd rather have that temperature than a summer World Cup in our house.
And I'd rather have a dry heat than a humid heat. So no, they don't get any advantage because guess who's going to buy the most World Cup tickets? Americans. We are already beating everybody else on ticket sales right now. So Iran's not going to have any advantage because of weather, because of dryness. There are going to be way more Americans at that game than there are going to be Iranians. So there you go.
Why were they always advertising the clouds? Or they're still going with the Summer World Cup at the time, I guess.
Yeah.
The robotic clouds, that mist on the stadium, you know?
Yeah. Well, they figured that probably wasn't going to work out, and that's just an experiment. So we better go with a winter World Cup, the first ever winter World Cup. All right. Next question. We've already been on for 41 minutes.
Tack on the 30 minutes we missed earlier, too.
Fuck. I was listening to a Tottenham podcast, and the host, Jack.
Enough.
Yeah, I'll say it. Jack Enhoff said Conte really wants to bring in Weston McKennie.
Sure. He's been saying that for about a year now, actually.
Would you want him there or would you hate it? I just read an article saying Conte wants to go coach at PSG.
I mean, and he wants to bring McKennie too.
Conte must be the most erratic, most emotional manager I have ever seen. Dude is just, it's never his fault. It's always it's never his fault when things don't work out. So, I mean, first of all, I'm not a fan of Conte. I don't know who this podcast guy is, but I'm sure he's got a lot of fans.
Well, I mean, quite frankly, again, I'm assuming the host, Jack Enoff, is legit and all.
Right.
I mean, this has been a rumor for the last year, and I'm sure he still wants to bring Weston in. But I mean, again, would I want him there? If he wasn't getting playing time at Juventus prior to his foot injury, you can make an argument and say, yeah, sure. Well, he is getting playing time at Juventus, and I'm saying stay there.
I mean, when he's healthy, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's no point.
Outside of getting a broken foot, he's been healthy or played through injuries.
Yeah. So. Why go to a situation like Tottenham when you're not sure you're actually going to get to play? Or as my dad calls them, Tottenham.
Tottenham?
Like that, it's Tottenham. It's like Tottenham. Like that, it's Tottenham. But, it's funny. He says that about Leicester. I'm like,
this is a question by John Johnson. John, I think you need to come up with better names. I think you wasted your good name in the question.
I like that. I'm sure people call him JJ.
No, nobody calls him JJ because
they call him Desi Mitch. It's Mitch Desi. How does he have so many names? Anyhow, any more?
Of course.
I agree with Greg when he said he wanted to bring a team to Nations League, but
the A team.
But with all these injuries, so you think it might make sense to rest out A team? All these injuries are worrying. I think he's got to bring them as many as the A team as possible because he's got very few games before the World Cup to get these guys ready.
So I guess we should preface by saying that since we do have so few games, that you've convinced me too that you think that Greg is going to be focusing on building chemistry rather than testing new guys.
Yeah, but
and I said that I definitely agree with you now since you made that argument.
Mm-hmm.
So
I just think that there are going to be opportunities anyhow to try some new guys because there are going to be guys who are not back from injury or guys who get re-injured like Weah or let's say Reyna is still not, back and healthy and, I mean, all kinds of weird shit can happen. I need to proofread my tweets.
And your comments on YouTube too.
don't worry, even though I am a former English high school teacher, I will not criticize people's errors. It's okay. So
I don't make errors, so I never get criticized.
Listen, we can't. I mean, if they're right. If they're injured, they're not going to be there, and then some guys will get a chance. But I think as much as they are able to bring players who are healthy, who are A-team guys, they're going to have to go and play Nations League. There will be opportunities, though.
It's going to be A-team substitutes with as many A-team possibles. So, like, Des just got re-injured, right?
We're not quite sure how bad. Yeah.
Okay. Let's just assume the worst, and he's out for Nations League. Then, yeah, you're still going to see Yedlin. You're still going to see Cannon. Will we see Scally? Who knows?
Maybe.
But yeah, so expect to see more or less as much of an A squad as possible. And then he's going to bring in basically the fillers. And then maybe at that point, he has to bring in new people just to fill in the fillers. I don't know.
I mean, Chris, outside of, say, Mihailovic, Hoppy, and Scally, I'm not sure.
Brooks.
Yeah. I don't know if those wounds have been healed.
Didn't Richards just get re-injured?
Yes, yeah. I believe so. Yep. Dest out 4 to 6 weeks. No. Yeah, I mean, I thought they were guessing at that. That's why it was so broad. But, that game was horrible, by the way. I don't know if you watched that. They lost. Barcelona lost the game. They were pathetic, dude. Pathetic. Sean Weeks, I think we need to mix in some other guys for the Nations League instead of burning guys out. Well, the problem is we don't have a whole lot of friendlies and games between now and the World Cup. I'd agree with you if we had a lot, but we're not going to have a lot. So I think you're going to have the core group, continue to build that camaraderie. Yeah, sprinkle in a few guys here and there. You're going to be able to, because there's going to be injuries. So if you have to sprinkle. And give those guys a shot.
Twinkle, baby. Twinkle, twinkle.
Listen, no one more than me would love to see Matthew Hoppy get a start at center forward. No one more than me. Maybe Brad.
I would be fine with him getting a start at winger. That's probably more likely than striker.
Or Hoppy's family. Or Hoppy himself. All of them want to see him play as well. So there you go. Bring them all and let them ride a bike and hang out with the group like he did with Aaron Long. Yeah, Grant, I mean, it's an idea, but again, I have to continue to say this. We don't have a lot of time before the World Cup starts. So I think we have to continue to bring the core group, and I think you're going to have to play some of them too, because they still need to build chemistry. If you haven't been watching, I don't think there's a lot of the chemistry we're looking for. We have not achieved yet. So
hit and miss.
I think MLS or Eredivisie would be good destinations for Hoppy. If Hoppy transfers this summer, where would you like to go? I'd love to see him go to Holland. Shit, I don't care who he plays for. As long as it's a first division Holland team, yeah, I'm all for it.
So we've had this discussion with MLS. I think we talked about last live stream or one of the last shows. But my issue with him coming to MLS is that he's most likely, if it's a full transfer, he's most likely going to have to sign that MLS contract where he signs for 3 years with 2 option years. And that means the bulk of his early developmental years and hopefully continuing to grow will be here. And then by the time he's like 26, 27 is when he'll get his actual chance to go back to Europe. Assuming that MLS doesn't cock block him for a high transfer fee to go back early.
And I can tell you, Matthew Hoppy has no intention of leaving Europe.
Why would you? You're already there.
Until he's got a chip on his shoulder now.
Yeah.
He is fucking pissed off and he wants to play. So if he can go get a loan to another Spanish lower team and he can play against Mallorca, although some of those deals say, well, whatever player we loaned you can't use against us. That happens all the time. But man, there's nothing more that I would love to see than some newly promoted team. Mm-hmm. Let's say Mallorca barely stays up. Some newly promoted team signs Hoppy, and he gets to play against Mallorca and just fucking eradicates them. I would love to see that. Fucking hate Mallorca. I hate their coaches. I hate their fucking upper management. I hate the team. and Matthew Hoppy's got to get the fuck out of there because he's getting screwed. But I would take Holland. I'll take Holland.
Holland would be nice. I mean, League One would be awesome, but
Heerenveen.
I think if he's gonna make a move, it's got to be to a lower league as a whole. And while I'm not bashing Holland by any means, I feel like that'd probably be a more realistic opportunity for him to get playing time finally. You know?
Well, how about just one of those sort of teams that are in Holland that never get relegated?
Bring him on to Heracles, because I mean, Luca De La Torre sets up his strikers so many times they don't score.
Yeah,
there's a problem. There's something right there, guys.
They're morons. They're morons. But I mean, there are plenty of teams that are always in, the Eredivisie, and that's like Heerenveen, Feyenoord. Those teams aren't going to be up there with Ajax or anything. They'll be competing with PSV and other teams, but they're teams are reliable, and you're going to get a chance to play. So even Josie went there and was like close to the leading scorer in the league one year. So
like 37 goals.
Yeah.
Was it one? That was over the course of 2 seasons, wasn't it? Or was that 1 season? It was a ridiculous amount.
It was a lot of goals, and I believe 1 season he was either tied or up there, second or third leading scorer in the league. And that's when he went off to England, and that is where it all went south real fast. All right, we still have more questions?
Yes. Yes, we do.
Okay. Fred. I hope you are more respectful to me tonight. We weren't disrespectful. You were. You were like, I know more than you. To Brett. That's disrespectful. We never say that to anybody. So, yeah, you were disrespectful. Not us. We're actually very nice to people. So, you're wrong.
Again, though, every live stream, there's just something that chips more and more away from us. And we may get back to the point where we're like, fuck it. Dumbass supposed to be...
You should phase out Euroborn and raise players. Okay, so I'm a dual nat.
You're not American.
I don't get to play for the Americans. My brother was born in Germany. Does that mean he's off the team automatically?
So let's finish it. Let's finish this, and then we'll break. Let's finish it, and then we'll break into it. Okay?
They aren't American. Yes, they motherfucking are, and I am too, motherfucker.
Finish it, Derek.
They weren't raised American, and they weren't developed in America. Who fucking cares about that? It hurts us having guys like Musa, Des, Robinson, Brooks, and others. It hurts us.
Now let's break this apart, guys. I don't know. I've been awfully respectful to just about everybody.
Well, I'm about done with that.
There's been like one person on Twitter, and it was only one interaction ever that I've ever had with this person that I was ever not respectful to, and that's because that guy was a dick. It's nobody that constantly comes to our show or anything like that. So it's not a listener of ours. It's just some rando. So I don't know. I think the concept of saying like maybe you guys will be respectful to me is a bit of a shitty take here, guys.
Yeah, this sounds like a troll. I mean, you could not possibly think that having Musa and Dest and Anthony Robinson on your team is a bad thing. Now, Brooks has an attitude problem, and he's not on the team. And I'm okay with that, unless he fixes his attitude. I get it. But this whole thing is they aren't American. They are American. Their dads, Brooks' dad was in the U.S. military. All right? Yeah, he's American. I don't care. My mom's German. My dad was in the U.S. military. I'm American. Yeah. All right? Don't tell me what I am. I'm not.
Anybody who's actually watched our show more than once knows that we always have the same take when it comes to duels or anybody who's foreign born that has an American citizenship. If you've got American citizenship, if you're an American, hands down,
easy.
I don't care if you've ever been to America or if you came here for one holiday. I don't give a rat's ass. If you've got citizenship because one of your parents is an American soldier, especially, but if an American citizen and you're born abroad, I don't give a rat's ass. You're still a fucking American.
I bet if I had an accent still, and I talk like Gizmo does, which is my kind of fucked up German accent or whatever. I wonder.
Oh, wrong one.
Go ahead. He's totally fucking with you all. I wonder if That's what I said. It sounds like
it's a troll. I mean, because these are talking points. These are talking points that we make.
Yeah, I feel
almost
like,
weekly.
Yeah, I feel like we're being goaded here. So let's skip it. Just skip them. Skip them.
No,
I don't care if it's disrespectful.
It continues.
Oh, great. And besides, I know.
Hold on, I'll make that bigger. There you go.
And besides, I know you'll hate this because you like being toxic. Whatever, dude. Legit is better than Musa. No, he's not. Not anymore. Musa can't connect a pass, and he can't even make a penalty. What? Musa plays in Valencia, dude, and Legit had major surgeries, and he's just not the same player, although he's been decent for the Revs this season. And he was a major favorite player of mine. So whatever, dude. I'm just trying to be real. Yedlin, Moore, and Cannon are better than Robinson and Dest. Moore? Don't think so. And I know we've had this debate with this guy before. Moore can't play for Tenerife, dude. Do you realize that? He's not a starter on that team. Does not start.
Well, now that was the topic of last live stream. Fred brought up was Moore with the Moore over Scally thing. We talked about how, like, I understand Berhalter's take, why he ended up going with Moore over Scally, and simply because it was the last window. Moore's familiar with the system. You're just gonna go with it, whatever. But and then that's what started the whole you're being rude to me. Fred threatened to unsubscribe.
I thought he did unsubscribe.
He said he was going to. But I don't know what for, because we weren't rude to him last week.
No. We're always nice. Generally to people. I mean, listen, we're loud. That doesn't mean we think you're a cock and puss. It just means that's how we are. You're loud and bellicose. I'm louder than that, even. Just higher pitched voice.
You're
more like Kermit, and I'm more like some old man,
Yeah, I drove down to Bloomington this past weekend for my nephew's birthday party. I would have given you a call, but we were only staying for a short period of time because I had another family back here in Indy.
Yeah.
But my kids brought up Kermit, so I spent like 30 minutes just trying to do my own impersonation of Kermit.
You don't have to do one. You already sound like
pretty much there. Rainbow Connect. I can't do it right now. I've lost my voice over the weekend, but
yelling at your kids. Yeah,
exactly.
And then Brooks is just terrible. I don't think Brooks is terrible, or else he wouldn't start for Wolfsburg. Maybe he's terrible in some way. Like maybe his attitude's terrible. Maybe he's not a good teammate, But he's a good player. He's a very skilled passer. Switches fields fabulously. So I just think we're being trolled, Brett. I just think we're being trolled. So I don't know if we answer these from Fred anymore, because I think he's purposely trolling. So at this point, I don't know what else to think, because it's like calling us toxic. Like, that's gentlemanly, isn't it? That's so gentlemanly, toxic. We're not toxic. We're just louder than you are, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It has to be at that point. And everybody's agreeing that he has to be trolling at this point. I'm not 100% sold that he is, but I would like to think at this point, because those are all talking points of ours. And I wanted to say that we don't actively go out and bash shitty players in particular, but we definitely don't talk about Yedlin or Cannon, who are contenders for that right back spot behind Dest. Assuming that we just ignore Scally continuously. We had our little, not beef with Moore by any means, but we had our argument against him over Scally. We don't bash Legit. We praise him when he does well. We criticize him when he does poorly.
How old's that account?
February of 2022.
That's somebody.
It's a sock puppet account.
Yeah.
I don't think Fred. Sorry, Fred. I'm sorry. I'm gonna flat out say it, but I don't think you're. I think you're a sock account.
Yeah, I don't think you are a person, a real person.
I think you're a real person.
A real person. But yeah, it's not. There's not a real person named Fred Baker, is what I'm saying. It's a person, but it's a sock puppet account, not a sock puppet account. Whatever that is, I don't even know what that would be. All right, so are we picking our top managers since we've been alive?
Yeah, let's go ahead and pull it up, I guess.
And we're only doing Bora and up, right?
So Mike H says, "Hey, can you guys do a tier ranking list of every U.S. men's national team coach?"
No, not everyone.
Well, not every head coach. Maybe with the ones with 30+ matches. I believe there are only like 8 coaches, so you can do like a bracket. Well, we're not professional enough to do like a bracket per se, but we can pull up the wiki and talk about things.
I don't think it's the site that has all the tiers where you can like pull people over into the different tiers, like
Yeah, that
A,
takes a
B,
lot of
C,
prepping
D.
and stuff.
Yeah, we didn't have any time for that today, both you or I. I was busy throwing all my ex-wife's shit in a fucking giant garbage bin, and you had other issues going on there in your house. So, but I did have time to think about this question, and I'm just going to I think we'll just do our top, I don't know, 6, like starting with Bora and go up. Those are the ones we'll consider.
Probably leave Dave off because he was interim at that point.
Yeah, I don't think Saracen had a real shot because that's not a whole lot of games, and he was playing like total experimental kids. So I'm going to start at number 6. My number 6 is Steve Sampson.
Sure,
and
not a great cycle for him.
And
well,
he had some great moments.
Let's take this back. Yeah. I was going to take this back and say, well, not a great World Cup for him.
Mm-hmm. But I do blame him for not sitting Harks and Winalda down in a room and saying, "Hey, let's work this out. What's wrong? What's going on here? Let's fix this shit."
That's that'd be a
real leadership move.
I'm just saying that'd be a harsh sit down, and I don't know if there would be a resolution that quickly.
Well, okay, then at least tell Harks the truth. When you come in, he comes in and you're like, "You're off the team." And he goes, "Why?" He says, "You know why." Well, he was like, "No, I didn't know why." In fact, Harks to this day denies having an affair with Amy Winalda. I mean, that's kind of embarrassing if you're Eric, because you're like, "Yeah, well, my wife says you did, and I say you did, and the team members said you did, but you won't even admit to it? Come on. Come on. At some point, you got to admit to that." So Steve Sampson for that, although he had some really great moments, Copa America moments, but his 6 whatever formation that he did in the World Cup, some of that was absurd, and we got our asses kicked in that last one. 3-6-1. Yes, exactly. Thank you, Chris.
Sitting at a 53% win ratio. Oh,
a 3-6-1. It's like you have a fucking midfielder every 3 feet, every 3 yards. They're like holding hands and shit. Was Steve your 6th?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, out of the 94 and up, I'm not sure how you cannot have him as last.
Yeah. 5th, Jurgen Klinsmann.
Oh. Interesting.
I'm sorry.
I wouldn't have, but okay.
I mean, who are you going to put below him?
I don't know. That's a great question.
Bora? You can't put Bora below him because he had a really not a very good team of players at that time compared to what we have now, and still got us out of the group stage at the 94 World Cup.
That's a fair argument.
Whereas Jurgen did get us out of the group stage, but we had a way better team. That was a much more talented team.
Sure.
Dempsey.
I think everybody after Bora probably had a better team.
Yeah. Bora had a bunch of guys who did not play in Europe, who some of them did, but not a whole lot of them, and did not have a whole lot of experience. And we didn't even have we were doing the World Cup so we could start MLS. So we didn't even have a domestic league, for Christ's sake, a real one.
Yeah, Bora definitely did more with less.
He certainly did.
I mean, it's a good argument to make for him.
So that's why I put him ahead of Jurgen. Jurgen gets many, many, many negative points for me for the whole Donovan affair. Sorry.
Yeah, that was brutal.
I will never get over that. I don't care about his win percentage or whatever at this point. That was the worst mistake he ever made, leaving Donovan off of that World Cup team. And we won't go into it because plenty of excuses have been made and plenty of things have been said already about that.
Chris, at some point, we'd love to have Ronaldo on or some variation of that, but we haven't actively tried yet.
Yeah. And if we have him on, it's not going to be an intervention, folks. All right. So everything's going to be fine if we have him on. You know, like that one time where you tricked me into thinking that Filippo and Pete were going to do an intervention and have me and Winalda make up. Yeah. We don't
really quick intervention.
Yeah, it'd be really quick.
Sorry.
Like, hey, dude, sorry.
My bad.
I was a dog. I did some funny shit. You didn't find funny.
Yeah, this just breeds in or adds into it, quite frankly.
Yes, it does.
Because it was clear that it left the field and it went home. And it
did go home. Yep.
Because there would be no reason. Donovan and Klinsmann were close, and then you have to imagine Donovan and Jonathan were relatively close-ish. As close as an adult with a friend's kid could be, I guess.
Yeah.
But
right.
it just the bad blood came home and it just seeped into his family in that sense that Jonathan came out and laughed at Donovan on Twitter.
He did.
For being left off. He goes, "Hey, I just found out." Ha ha ha.
Yep. Just found out that he didn't make the team. So that's a dinner table discussion that happened over at the Klinsmann household where basically Jurgen was telling his son, he's a real pain in the ass. Never forgiven him for coming to Bayern and playing like shit when I brought him to Europe.
Yeah.
All those things. And then, of course, when he had mental problems, Donovan went on his sabbatical where he hiked mountains with, gorillas and Bigfoot and in a Davy Crockett outfit. He went away for a while. Okay. He went through a divorce, one that hit him hard. He needed some time off. He'd also been playing for 2 years straight. 2 years straight. LA ended, loan to fucking Everton. LA, loan to Everton. Give the guy a fucking break. Give him a rest. It's not a big deal. He's not even that old yet. So anyhow.
Sparkle, the ridiculous situations are generally self-inflicted.
I didn't even read that.
I said the ridiculous situations you guys constantly find yourselves in is very endearing.
What ridiculous situations?
One we were just talking about prior to with Winalda.
Oh yeah.
And any form of ridiculous situation we find ourselves in generally are self-inflicted.
And they've been my fault. So it's generally been me pissing people off. Not Brett. Brett doesn't piss people off. I do. All right. So to be fair to Brett.
A nice guy. What can I say?
Yeah. So I have Jurgen in fifth.
So Steve and Jurgen. You made a good argument for Jurgen over Bora in that sense.
I'm trying.
I was originally going to have Bora than Jurgen.
Well, then you're not going
to
like.
So I guess this is gonna be tricky. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I'm going with Greg.
Yes, this is why I said it's gonna be tricky because we had talked about this prior. Greg has the highest winning percentage, the best goal differential
against the weakest opponents,
and has only played like 3 European or anybody non-CONCACAF squads.
Correct.
We played Wales. He played Bosnia, and he played. Who's the other Euro team?
It doesn't really matter.
Switzerland.
Yeah, the point is that he's not done well against those teams generally, and because of the Nations League setup, and there are really not a whole lot of abundance of friendlies now. So it's not like you can just set up all these great friendlies like Jurgen did, during the windows. So he's like, we're forced to play Jamaica, and we're forced to play the CONCACAF teams. Jamaica's a good team, but it's not Germany. It's not Spain. It's not Italy. Well, Italy. Shit.
So when you listed Jurgen as your fifth, as you said that, Chris Gary had mentioned Berhalter was going to be his fifth. And you could almost make the argument, same reason why you picked Jurgen over Bora, Berhalter has a far better team than Jurgen did, in my opinion. Or at least potential. He's got a lot of young players, I guess.
Yeah.
So you can keep bringing that narrative in the end. But, again, he's still winning so you can't really be trashing it too much, but he is playing against weaker opposition as a whole. I mean, he's got 101 goals and 30 goals against.
This World Cup will let me know whether or not Greg's fourth place here moves him up to a second place.
Are you reading the comment section too?
No. You know I don't.
Chambers said, "I think Greg's hard to grade until after the World Cup." It's a fair point.
Very fair. So that's what I'm waiting for. Right now, he's not been in control that long. He has a great record, but we haven't really played much of anybody. So there you go. There's no Confederations Cup anymore, so we didn't get that. We're not going to get to enjoy, watching that test for Bob Bradley like we did. So just above Greg in third, I go with Bora. Just because he had bare bones to work with, he got us out of the group stage, which in '94 looked impossible to do. So
we had Colombia in the group stage, and they were ranked like fourth in the nation or world at the point.
Yeah,
something like that.
And then we were actually pretty competitive with Brazil in the next round, except for when Tab Ramos got his skull fucking fractured.
Yeah, I was gonna say took some shittery about it.
And then everything fell apart very quick after that. Like, I think it really affected the psyche of the other players, of the other American players. And then ahead of Bora, I got Bob Bradley as my second place.
Yeah,
this is really
you
tough.
Have to. I mean, the fact of the matter is, you have to hold.
I mean, Bruce got us the farthest we've ever gotten since the 50s and 30s. That's as far as we've ever gone. Again,
yeah, but his I guess we're just talking about World Cups. Is 06 and then failing to qualify.
06 was horrible.
It puts a damper on things.
It was, but 2002 was a miracle, right?
Yeah.
With a bunch of young kids and old men. It's basically what we had.
That was a great World Cup, yeah.
Donovan
beating Mexico to get the furthest we've ever gotten. Yeah, that was fabulous.
Donovan Beasley and a bunch of old dudes, basically, and not all of them playing in like on teams you'd be like, oh yeah, that team. I know that team. That's a good team. No, they were all playing on sort of.
Yeah, Brian McBride wasn't that old.
Reina, you had, Gio's dad played on teams you've heard of before, right?
Yeah.
Wolfsburg, Rangers, Manchester City, and the John O'Brien. Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sad
that's a sad story. We had him on the show. We asked him about it, and he was like, yeah, at some point you just can't continue to play with pain.
50 years earlier from the 2002 World Cup, we made the semis. Yeah. It was 1950, wasn't it?
No. Was it? Or was it one of the 30s, 1930s ones? I can't remember, but it's been a long time and that doesn't count anymore. I'm sorry, it doesn't, because very few teams signed up to play World Cups back then. And we had a team full of basically guys who had just moved here from Europe that played soccer. They were immigrants.
Probably shouldn't have played for us then.
No! Fred Baker would say that. He doesn't like immigrants, and he apparently doesn't like players with mothers that are German.
Third place was 1930. You're right.
Yeah, it was 30s. So that's the best we ever did.
Yeah.
But look at how many teams played, and that was ridiculous.
The 1930 team was pretty much just an English B team, wasn't it?
I don't know. I'm not an expert on 1930s English teams, but
what?
Yeah, my shit doesn't start until they won their first World Cup. That game I know, because it's legendary in England and it's legendary in German too, because of was that a goal or was that not a goal? But England won the game. So, and then, so Bruce Arena ends up getting first because I just think what he did in 2002 was beyond anybody's expectations with a team that was not highly touted and full of superstars like we have now. We have a team full of goddamn fucking players playing on some of the best teams in the goddamn world. And we didn't have that back then. So for Bruce to do now, people are going to say, well, Bruce fucked up in the qualifying when he got the job back.
It definitely hurt.
And that does hurt. It's going to hurt his legacy. There's no doubt about it. And I don't think it was all his fault either. But I mean, if he at halftime, I'm sure he kicked those players in the ass. I'm sure he did. He just didn't get that foot far up that fucking asshole to make his point, because we did not come out and do what we need to do to win that game in the second half. And yeah, it's gonna be on his legacy forever. He's never gonna be able to live it down. People are gonna always think he's the failure guy, but before he was a failure, he was a success. And wherever he goes as a manager for a club, he's a successful manager. Look what he's done with the Revs. The Revs were notoriously awful for years. So yeah,
it seems like it's a split pot when it comes to first.
Yeah, I could flip a coin on it, honestly. I'm a huge Bob Bradley fan. I really am, but I don't know.
I defended him extremely hard on the big soccer days for 4 years. And once he got re-signed, at that point, I could no longer defend him.
Well, that's because you're a one-cycle guy.
I'm a one-cycle guy.
And you are, like, dogmatic about that. You're like,
Absolutely.
One cycle. That's it.
After the 2010 World Cup, I'm like, his play is stale. Get him out of here.
But it's so true. Listen, your voice, and Bob Bradley said this about leaving LAFC. He's like, after a while, your voice becomes stale.
Mm-hmm.
Your players have already heard you said the same thing 1,000 times. It's time to move on to a new environment with new players. So, yeah, I don't think, I think Ferguson at Manchester United is like the exception to all rules as long as he was there. And Arsene Wenger.
I was going to say, what about Wenger? Yeah.
Yeah. But generally, that's not how managing teams works. Like, after a while, people get sick of listening to you. Just look at Jose Mourinho and what's going on with him.
Well,
like,
I mean,
he gets like 2 or 3 years at best, and then the team stops listening.
Yeah. Graf brings up a great point. Also, Jermaine Jones said he was dog crap. He was a dog crap coach. Talking about Arena, but Jones also played under Bradley. So
yeah, but
clear cut.
Jones,
I think makes Bradley number one.
Jones didn't get called up by Arena.
Do you think he's butthurt?
I think that's a little bit. You know how much I love JJ.
Yeah,
but that sounds a little bit like bitter pill there. Like and JJ can be like that. And he said he should have started, and he should have been on that team, and he should have started that game in Cuba. So I think he's holding that against him. Whereas, we got other guys like Jeff Cameron saying, Klinsmann would have got us through that. And why did he say that? Because Bruce Arena didn't play him. So, yeah, he's bitter,
Sure.
The Chode Patrol, LLC. I'm glad that it's a limited liability company, because I don't know how much that's gonna make unless you got a lot of spectacular people ready to doing some Chode patrolling. Which we all need that on occasion. If I have a threesome with a lady and another guy, with a lady and another guy, and our balls touch, does that make me gay? Not necessarily.
So no. Double threes, I believe it's called a devil's three-way. So
yeah, I've never done one of those. I mean, I think that would turn me off a little bit. But I've seen it happen. I mean, we've all been on our porn star sites, and those guys are shoving things in the same hole. They don't seem to mind that they're sword fighting in there. And that seems gross, but that's what they're doing.
Graf, who's the U19 team? Because it's not the U.S. men's national team U19. That went to a former Serbian U20 assistant.
Well, you're going to have to look this up, because I don't want my computer to crash again.
Yeah.
So if he just got a job for a U19 team, I want to know which one it is.
Jermaine Jones.
Jermaine Jones. Boom, 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 boom.
He is not coaching anywhere right now.
Yeah, all right. This seems like we got Boussiered there.
Well, I mean, like I said, we did just announce a U19 coach. But again, it's a former Serbian U20 assistant coach that coached under what's his face. That coached Chicago for a number of years.
Yeah, we talked about that guy. I can't remember his name. But, I mean, Jermaine Jones is my favorite U.S. men's national team player of all time. So there you go. And I just disagree with him. There you go. But I love him. I love it.
He says assistant coach. So is he the assistant coach of U19s? That has been announced.
That would be cool. I know that he's been trying to get a job coaching for a while. So I can just imagine him, yelling at the U19 players.
What the hell's up
with his German accent? So, and it's funny. I mean, he's lived here now for so long, yet his accent is so fucking thick still. It's like, and there are words that he doesn't know. So obviously, German is still spoken in his household on a general basis because
Marko Mitrovic.
Marko Mitrovic.
He's the new coach. Now, I haven't seen anything as far as assistants, but that would be cool if he was. That'd be a great U19 squad. But that would also be a lot of resources going into a U19 squad.
We had a hard time hiring coaches for a while because they had to live in fucking Chicago. Mm-hmm. People are like, why? The camps aren't going to even be in Chicago. All right. Are we done? That's it?
Yeah. Yep. That's everything, folks.
We are done. 1 hour and 20 minutes in.
Plus 30. Thanks for sticking around, guys.
Yeah. Thanks for hanging out. Sorry about the technical issues. We'll try to get that shit fixed. Well, I will.
Once we get the new computer, we'll record Derek setting his laptop on fire.
No, I'm probably going to use that for something else.
The door stop.
I don't know what yet, but something else. And actually, I'm going to be moving soon. So be moving up north. So I'll be closer to Brett. We might actually do some shows in your basement together live.
Yeah. And it's funny because we made the joke about how if you look at the color of our two rooms here, they kind of look like they could have been in the same room, guys. But that's not true.
It's not true.
By a good 60 miles plus.
Exactly. But that will be cool. I will have to get an Uber ride home there and back because there's no way I'm coming to your house.
And
driving back.
We got a couch down in the basement. You can just crash.
I could do that too. Then
you literally could walk to your parents' house. If you were at your parents' house, I'm saying.
I could ride a bike. I could ride a bike. Yeah. My parents do have bikes. I could actually bike to your house from my parents' house. It's true. They're not that far. But eventually I'm going to find a place, probably somewhere in Fishers or Noblesville, and that might be too far. So, but I'm selling this house now, getting out of the way here. And it's time to move out of Bloomington. It's been a process that's taking too long. I need to mentally get there. I mean, I've been here since I've been 18 years old.
A young adult.
18 years old, I've been in Bloomington, and I'm 50. And I just realized I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to be here. Why am I here? What am I here for? Anyhow, that's a little more of an existential TMI situation there.
Derek's tired of chasing a 19-year-old tail at IU.
No, I got no energy for chasing anything at this point. I just want to live a quiet life from here on out. Do this show, work a job that I like and enjoy, and do this show. That's about it. That's it. And, my dog's going senile at this point, so there's that to worry about too. So it's not like I can just leave him around with my parents because he'll piss all over the place because he's lost his mind.
I was say Derek caught him barking at a wall. A little weird.
Dude, a couple weeks ago, he went down into the basement of this house and just went to sleep on a pillow down in the basement. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Like he's been attached to my hip my whole life. So.
Does Gizmo partake?
Well, not on purpose. He's just in the same room I am.
Contact high, yeah. There's enough in the air for all of us to get high.
Secondary smoke there. But, he's 14 years old. The oldest Papillon in the world, I believe, is 22. That's as long as they live. Damn. So, my parents, none of their dogs last past like 12 because they're all pure breeds and they're big. They're retrievers and whatever. They get all these funky things and die. But, Gizmo's healthy.
Monty's a boxer, and their expectancy is 8 to 10 years, and she's 12 right now. But she's also like the runt of the litter, so I think that helps.
Might, yeah. Although I had a cat who lived for 22 years. I got a cat in high school. He lived with me all the way until when I got married, when I was like in my 30s. It's crazy.
Do they make doggy edibles? I feel like that could be a thing.
Doggy edibles?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Get your dog high.
Oh, I mean, that's not really hard to do. You just
I don't think they can eat cookies, brownies, or a gummy bear.
No, but you could easily just use the oil that you cook the weed in. It has all the chemicals needed, and then you could like mix it in dog food.
Just give eye drop in the eye.
No, dog food. That would work. It'd be like eating brownies for them, but it's dog food. I would never do that to Gizmo though, or a dog or anything else. I used to get pissed at people at my old house when I was really partying hard, and we were having the band was over, everybody was smoking weed, and they would blow the weed into my cat's ears, and I'm like, don't, hey.
It comes out the other one.
It's my fucking cat. No, Sid was smart as fuck. So no, he was a wicked smart dog. Like a dog smart cat. He thought he was a dog. He would fetch and do all kinds of weird shit because he grew up around dogs. So he thought he was a dog. And yeah, I didn't like that.
My dad was back when my dad was back at college. He was living in an apartment with other guys, and they had a Great Dane. Well, Great Dane, it was a German Shepherd, and that German Shepherd apparently ate like a tray of some special brownies, and came back, and the dog was like half on the stairs, half off the stairs, and when they walked around, he would just lift his eyes up and go, "Woof."
Well, they're not supposed to eat brownies anyhow because that's got like chocolate shit right in it.
Yeah, the dog survived it.
Yeah. Well, the thing about doing that is that, like, even for humans, eating edibles, like, okay, this is what everybody does the first time they do it. They have a brownie. They're like, I don't feel anything. Give me another one. Eat another brownie. Now they're fucked up because all that shit just rushed up and hit you right in the asshole. Like, I can't tell you how many band members early on in my music career I had to help through that process. Like, dude, no, you only eat one fucking brownie and you wait. It's going to take longer because your body's got to digest it. It's not like smoking weed. You're not going to eat a brownie and then get stoned. You got to wait around for a while.
I let you know my one experience with an edible, right? But I've let you know that story, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So guys, I'm an alcoholic. I don't do any other.
Don't say
drunks.
that. You do work. I'm an alcoholic.
Yeah, I'm not drunk at work that they know of. Nope, seriously. So the one time I did partake, since it was my only time, I got a half a gummy, and I don't know. Is that particular? Because you're talking about how like each edible can be like pinpoint to a specific feeling like that you want to experience. And the one I had made me feel like I just like gained like 500 pounds and like sunk into the couch.
Listen, the stuff I got, the Jenny Kush stuff that I've had, it's fabulous. But I do have to say, after a few drinks, I just want to take a nap. So that is an issue, but not during the show typically. So thankfully for that. Okay, I think we ended the show with enough drug talk. How about you?
Don't do drugs. Drugs are bad.
Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for being here. Buy a t-shirt or something. And then wear it. Take a photo of yourself wearing one of our t-shirts. We've only got, one photo? We have all these people that have bought our t-shirts. Nobody is sending to you on Twitter, like photos of themselves wearing it.
I'll have to check my email, make sure I didn't miss anything coming through.
I don't think they would send it to the email. They need to send it to your Twitter.
I've received a couple of emails. The problem with my personal email, guys, is that it's just littered with spam.
Yeah, mine too. It's outrageous.
Bad way of trying to contact me. In all honesty, contact me on Twitter if you guys want to reach out to me.
Yes.
Send me a DM. My DMs are open.
Don't contact me on Twitter because I don't care. All right.
Contact have a Twitter first up, Derek.
I do have one.
But we got our new Twitter overlord now.
Who's that?
Elon Musk. He bought Twitter.
That's what I hear.
He dropped $42 billion on it.
That's a lot of money, man.
The sixth of his overall revenue. I guess not revenue. I mean, good gross income.
I guess Jack Dorsey.
Income either. This, whatever you call it. Yeah.
Jack Dorsey went ballistic on the board and shit. So that's interesting. I never saw that coming. Sell some underwear. You want to wear straight red card underwear? You'll get video flicks. That could be true. So we'll have to be really thoughtful about what kind of underwear we sell.
We're going to slide into them DMs. Jose says the straight red card fans are shy. I feel like if there's one thing, our fans are not shy.
And if they still are shy, they're learning how not to be. Right here on the show. Maybe. We'll see. Anyhow, apparently we're not very shy. We love you guys, though, and we really appreciate all the support. We got another show we got to finish. That's the recorded show, so we're going to end this one, and it's already 10:19, and we've been on for an hour and 30 minutes. We'll be back. We're going to continue the group by group by group by group shit. We should have renamed this, though, Brett. We would got a lot more hits on YouTube if it were top 6 American U.S. men's national team managers.
Guys, if you're shy to show your bodies, just crop your head off and just show your man tits with the shirt on, you know?
Or blur your face out. We don't care.
Assuming all of our fans are as fat as me. So.
Or wear a mask. We all got those laying around the house, right? At this point.
No, I actually we went to Florida over spring break, and I had to go out and get a mask because once my job did not require them anymore. Trash can. Bye. I was so tired of those fucking things.
I had a box of 20 of them, and I only used like 4 of them. So it's like they're still over there. And it's like when it first came out, and my parents were concerned that I was visiting. And I'm like, well, I got the shot. You know, I'm fine. They're like, well, okay. You're like, yeah, everybody's wearing masks. So I still got a bunch of them around the house. So
the route this live stream is taking is just beyond me. Love you all, guys. This is great.
I love my man tits, sir.
Between the double three-way,
they bring all the U.S. men's national team fans to the yard. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of man tits hanging out during the U.S. games. What?
Do you get the reference?
No.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard.
Oh,
the song. It's a song from like the mid 2000s. Like
stop listening to music.
It was. I don't think you would have listened to this regardless. But who sings milkshake? We have 21 people in there. Somebody's got it. Let's go quickly.
So just so people know, I stopped listening to music around 2007 because things started to suck. Now, I bought an occasional album now and then of people that I knew didn't suck. But as far as like any pop shit, I'm not going to know it. I tuned out of pop music. Completely tuned out. So there you go.
Jose says he's 25. It's a meme to him. It's not Conway Twitty either.
Most people are not going to know who
Ladies and gentlemen, Conway Twitty.
Oh, people are not going to know who Conway Twitty is, dude. Like, you're going to know. I'm going to know. Christ. Conway Twitty was like, that's going way back, dude.
Either Sparkle has just announced that he's a Family Guy reference or a Family Guy fan, or he's aged himself.
Seriously. Did you bring up Conway Twitty or somebody else?
No, seriously. Sparkle did.
That's what I thought, because I wouldn't even think you would know who he was.
Yeah, I know who he is.
Do you?
Yes.
Did you ever watch that country show that was on?
No, I don't like country shit.
Back in the 80s and 90s as a comedy, 70s, 80s.
All right, he aged himself. The fuck Family Guy.
You're going to lick his chode and then fuck him? Damn.
Yeah.
Do some chode patrol, then ram him. All right. I think we're done, aren't we? I mean, how many times do I got to do this?
At least one more time.
All right.
All right.
We love you guys. Again, until the next time on the Straight Red Card, peace out.
Do it again. Whoop. Ah, fuck. And like it. That's way too many likes. I gotta comment on a channel. Fuck. Oh. Yeah. That should probably do. That should probably do. That should probably do.
That hurt. More verticality.